Welcome back. It never fails when I go live. All kind of stuff start happening around here. It never fails. It's almost 12 a.m. Anyway, like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. Now, look, y'all. I learned how to do my thumbnails now. I'm getting better with this technology. Eventually, I'm gonna make a little studio. I might even get a microphone. But right now, and my last video, the whole doggone background just fell to pieces. But anyway, but I have to have something. I'm gonna get it together eventually. So anyway, this is Detroit, Michigan news you can use. Then I'm gonna come up. So apparently today, Cam Cam, I'm gonna call it Cam Cam. A Detroit pastor was offended by Cam Cam's strategy to woo black male voters. We're not political infants. And this is a Detroit pastor accused Vice President Cam Harris, of exploiting the black vote as she prepares for an event with Charlemagne the God in a bid to gain black support from black males. Pastor Lorenzo Sewell, who is a Trump supporter who leads a 180 church in Detroit, detailed why he was offended by Harris' decision during Fox and Friends. I have never been so offended in my life, he said. She's bringing a man here who is Charlemagne, a false god, to a community that has 4,500 churches, all people of faith. We are extremely offended that she's bringing a podcaster here to talk to black men about politics. She brought a retired athlete to Flint who is failing, Magic Johnson, and she brought Oprah to Oakland County as if she understands the plight and the pain of people that look like me. We will not allow virtue signaling. We will not allow identity politics. Black men are not political infants. We know exactly what's happening with the Democratic Party. We know they exploited us for over 6 decades. And we're saying, just like Moses said to Pharaoh, let my people go. Here's dismissed polling this week that indicates she has lost support with black men during a 23 sit down with the black focused entertainment outlet, The Shade Room. She was asked about polls indicating that Democrats' advantage with black voters has declined from past presidential cycles and among black men in particular. When you hear those numbers, you're seeing in polls black men aren't as excited or fired up about you. How do you respond to that? Well, I can say all the black men she locked up for marijuana cases in Cali, the black men that she did not let out, the Supreme Court had to make her let these men go who have served their time because they were doing slave labor for corporations inside the prison. Yeah, that part. Anyway, when you hear those numbers and you're seeing them post, black men aren't as excited or fired up about you. How do you respond to that? The VP immediately dismissed the post and suggested that things could change in the next 3 weeks before November election. One, that's not my experience. Harris responded to election day has not arrived yet. Harris went on to say she's not taking these voters for granted and is working to earn their support. Really? Okay, we'll see. Black men are no different from anybody else. They expect that you have to earn their vote, and that's why I'm out here, she says. It's incumbent on me Vice to President earn. Kamala Harris also. Oh my goodness. It's incumbent on me to earn their support. That's why I'm talking to folks about the work I've done in my career. Well, you need to tell how many black men you locked up. But let me see if I can play. You know what? I'm not going to talk. Let me see if I can play the video. Oh, this is it. So with 3 weeks to the election, Kamala Harris is trying to shore up support among black male voters. The new initiatives include loans for black entrepreneurs and new regulations for cryptocurrency and legalizing marijuana nationally. Underlying premise is not an assumption that I'm supposed to have black men in my back pocket in terms of their vote, and that I should be taking that for granted, because I don't. Black men are no different from anybody else. They expect that you have to earn their vote. So why is she just doing it now? And today she'll be sitting down with Charlemagne the God in Detroit, a move our next guest says will not hit the mark with black voters in their city. Lorenzo Sewell is a senior pastor at 180 Church in Detroit. He joins us now. He had the former president there as well, Donald Trump. Sir, thanks so much for joining the program.
Lawrence, I'm so Holy Ghost happy to be here with you this morning.
All right, Pastor. So tell me this. Is this going to work with black voters? I know that when it comes to black males, entrepreneurship is big for us. How is she going to overtax us, but then give us loans as well?
I have never been so offended in my life. She's bringing a man here who is Charlemagne, a false god, to a community that has 4,500 churches, all people of faith. We are extremely offended that she's bringing a podcaster here to talk to black men about politics. She brought a retired athlete to Flint who is failing, Magic Johnson, and she brought Oprah to Oakland County as if she understands the plight and the playing of people that look like me. We will not allow virtue signaling, but we will not allow identity politics. Black men are not political infants. We know exactly what's happening with the Democratic Party. We know that they've exploited us for over 6 decades, and we are saying, just like Moses said to Pharaoh, let my people go.
So, Pastor, tell me, what are you hearing from the folks that you're speaking to? I was in Detroit last week. I heard I had multiple conversations with voters, black males in the barbershop, and opinions from all over the political spectrum. But what are they telling you they want from a political candidate, a president?
They're saying they want a president that, number one, can help us with election integrity. We understand that in the city of Detroit, election integrity is an issue. The second thing, we want a president that can hold accountable our local and our state government from the resources that are already here. We already have federal funding through agencies like SBA, which President Donald Trump opened up that portal in a way that it has never been opened up in the history of the SBA, which, by the way, was started by Republicans. And we want a politician that's real, that wants to come here and listen to us. Vice President Harris, she's not spoken to any pastors. Vice President Harris, she continues to think that she can entertain her way to the black vote. We're offended, and we want her to be willing to actually bring real solutions to the complex problems that we're facing in urban America.
Yeah, black folks continue to say that we want to provide for our families, take care of our families. Whatever candidate that offers the best agenda for that is going to get the share of the vote. Pastor, thanks so much for joining the program. Well, that's from Pastor. See, well, that's what's happening in Detroit. Let me see. Oh, did I lose where I saw? Now, this is awful. They say Michigan will have massive snow and ice storm predicted for Michigan. Michigan is not officially in the fall weather season yet, with winter not too far behind. Recently, Michigan saw its first early morning frost warning, meaning we know that our warm days are behind us now. With that in mind, it's good to know when we may see not only our first snowfall, but our first big snowstorm of 2024-2025 winter season. The Farmer's Almanac is always the go-to source when it comes to predicting what we may end up with seeing for the upcoming winter. It is by no means perfect, but it does have an 80% success rate in predicting stronger storms, so you can take the numbers for what they are. The Farmer's Almanac had quite a bit to say when it came to winter for the Great Lakes area. They definitely predict us having a colder, wetter, and more white winter season, with 1 week in particular predicted to have a big storm. The coldest outbreak of the season will come during the final week of January into the beginning of February, when frigid Arctic air brings a sharp plunge in temperatures almost nationwide, but especially across the northern plains. As this very cold air blows across the Great Lakes, heavy snow showers and snow quirls will bring intense bursts of snow to the lakes. 1 week we need to keep track of comes right after the new year as they continue. We would especially highlight the time frames from January 20th to the 23rd and the 24th to the 27th, which could mean copious amounts of snow, rain, sleet, and ice, depending on where you live. They also predict that the last week in January into the first week of February could be the coldest weather we have seen in a long, long time. So make sure you're bundling up tight this winter. Ooh, I don't like that. I got to get from up here. Mm-mm, I got to go. I got to go. Okay, here we go. I had to get to my Michigan part. Sorry for the pause. Violent Michigan gangs wage war for more than just turf. Depending on where you live in Michigan, you may or may not be exposed to gang related activity or even recruitment. In case you didn't know, gangs in Michigan play a major role in the distribution of illegal substances, but it's not all motorcycle runs and cryptic handshakes. According to the United States Department of Justice, Michigan gangs have evolved into a highly organized operations where everything from cocaine to weapons is distributed right under our noses. These groups range from street gangs to outlaw motorcycle gangs, OMGs, both notorious for keeping drug markets alive, especially in Detroit and Grand Rapids. It's the first image that your mind conjures when you hear the word gang is a bunch of kids with bandanas and knives fighting over turf. Then it's time to expand your mind. Gangs, like everything and everyone else, have gone digital. I didn't know that. From the fake rap labels to cell phones and the internet, these organizations have found a way to mask their criminal activities and diversify their portfolio. Let me see, did they expand on this article? Oh, shoot. Hold on a minute. Let me turn off some of this. Oh, shoot. Yeah, excuse me. All right. some of this stuff. Okay, here we go. Popular health food recalled in Michigan poses risk of deadly infection. Inagi King Mushroom Farm recalled one lot of a 5.3-ounce packages of Enoki ENOKI mushroom on Friday due to listeria. Listeria can cause serious and sometimes fatal infections in young children, frail or elderly people, and others with weakened immune systems. Those without weakened immune systems might experience high fever, severe headaches, stiffness, nausea, abdominal pain, and diarrhea, in addition to other symptoms, including stillbirths and miscarriages. No illnesses were reported as a result as of October 11th. The affected lot code in front of the package is 4877, along with UPC code 860011505600. The products were distributed to stores nationwide, including in Michigan. Individuals who previously purchased a package are encouraged to throw the product out or return it to the place they purchased for a full refund. Major company in Michigan raises minimum wage to $24. Thank you. Thank you. Inflation has impacted nearly all businesses, individuals, and families in Michigan and the U.S. While Michigan recently raised its minimum wage, several companies have announced wage increases above the state's minimum. One major company in Michigan has added to the list of employers helping provide workers a livable wage beyond the bare minimum. Michigan minimum wage increased this year from $10.10 to $10.33 per hour and is set to rise again in 2025 to $12.48. However, popular retail chains in Michigan such as Aldi, and Hobby Lobby have recently announced minimum wage increases to attract and retain employees. America's second largest bank has now raised the pay to $24 an hour and plans to increase that pay in 2025. Bank of America, the Illuminati Bank, that's going to fall. Bank of America going to fall. Bank of America is one of the nation's largest financial institutions with dozens of locations in Michigan. The company continues to share in its success with employees with a pay increase. Bank of America will now pay employees $24 an hour for full-time and part-time hourly jobs. This is an increase from the $23 hourly rate as of last September. That brings a full-time annual salary to $50,000. Okay, let's see. They're saying all eggs will disappear in Michigan by the end of the year. Eggs are one of the most highly purchased breakfast food items, and we have seen just how serious people can get about their eggs. It wasn't too long that we were paying upwards to $39 for a 60-count box of eggs. That mainly had to do with the avian flu that was going around at the time, which caused a lot of eggs to be thrown out. This ended up inflating the price of eggs for a small amount of time, but it did get serious and shows how high and in demand eggs are in the state of Michigan. So back in 2019, Public Act 132 from the Animal Industry Act passed legislation in the state that said that starting December 31st, 2024, shield eggs sold in the state of Michigan have to come from the free housing systems only. I did not know that. See, this news you could use. I had no idea. The release, which was signed into order by Director Tim Boring and Governor Whitmer, goes into a little bit more on detail. The law prohibits operators from tethering or confining pigs for all or the majority of the day in a manner that prevents them from lying down, standing up, fully extending their limbs, or turning around freely. In addition, egg-laying hens cannot be tethered or confined in an enclosure other than a cage-free housing system or with less than the amount of usable floor space per hen as provided in the housing guidelines for cage-free production. Well, I can say I'm pleased with that. So will eggs be flying off the shelves before December 31st? It depends on how ahead of the game these stores are. They may start to transition early so it goes smoothly and they don't run into a situation where eggs are out of stock. Wow. All right, let's have a little fun. These are the best breakfast places in the state of Michigan that have the best breakfast. Spangler's Family Restaurant in Jonesville, Danny's Kitchen and Pancake House in Kalamazoo, Butler's Breakfast and Lunch in Kalamazoo, Our Table Family Restaurant at Otsego, Dig In Cafe in Augusta, Don's Cafe in Colon. I've never been to any of these restaurants. Big Nine Sportsman Club in Concord, Marjo's Diner in Schoolcraft, LaRue's Family at Restaurant in Kalamazoo, Antique Kitchen in Portage, Jenny's House Diner 2 in Niles. Oh, that's right by Indiana. The Roosters Call, the Roosters Call in Kalamazoo. McDonald's Irish Pub in Kalamazoo. Oh, shoot, not the whole thing went away. Well, I thought I had more, but it seemed to have gone away. Oh, wait a minute. Yep, it went away. Okay, anyway. Let's see. Retailer in Michigan is hiring thousands. Minimum wage increase up to $23. Let's see, who is this? Oh, according to a recent company statement, Aldi is hiring thousands of workers for the upcoming holiday season and new stores open across the U.S. The national average starting wages for Aldi will be $18 an hour and 23 for warehouse jobs based on the market and position. The No Frills grocery chain says it's offering a significant increase in minimum wage to attract and retain employees. Aldi has over 100 locations in Michigan and announced in March that it plans to add 800 more stores nationwide by 2028. Michigan residents interested in a career opportunity are encouraged to go online to Aldi Jobs page. Well, that's good news. Warning, don't use the big blue mailboxes in Michigan. In Michigan, blue mailbox may or may not have been a familiar sight. These boxes, which belong to the United States Postal Service, are essential for sending letters and packages. However, many people have noticed that the number of blue mailboxes in their neighborhoods is slowly declining. That's the fact because I don't see them a lot. Let me see. But as more people turn to texting and emailing, fewer folks are using these mailboxes. Because of this change, the United States Postal Service has started removing some mailboxes, especially in areas with less foot traffic. Unlike during the week, the mailboxes are not checked by mail personnel. This means that the mail can build up and make it a perfect spot for thieves to steal. With the holiday season rapidly approaching, more and more people will be sending out cards with money, gifts through the big blue mailboxes. However, this year USPS is asking you to only use the big blue mailboxes during the week. If you need to send something on the weekend, you should drop it off at a mailbox in front of your local post office. Those mailboxes have security cameras installed under them for safety measures. I didn't even know that. If you see one poking around or trying to break into a mailbox, call 877-876-2455. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Now we're going to Detroit. Let me see what time is it. Excuse me. One dead, three wounded in East Detroit shooting. Schools take safety measures amidst violence. A deadly shooting on Detroit's east side has claimed the life of one individual and left three others wounded, as reported by local media. It happened at the 6500 block of Haverhill Street around 2:40. There were at least 30 gunshots. And there's nearby Ronald Brown Academy took precautionary measures to ensure student safety as the incident occurred just as the school day came to a close. Wow, that's unfortunate. Detroit police seeking more information on shooting on Detroit's west side that left one man injured. The shooting happened at the 17100 block of Huntington on October 8th between 9:30 after 9:30 p.m. A 53-year-old man was sitting in his car when a red or burgundy Chevy Malibu pulled alongside him and shot him. The suspect drove off on Huntington Street. Did I? Dang. Oh, here it goes. Waiting on this slow computer. This computer is moving so slow, y'all. I'm gonna move right on past that. Okay, one did. Oh, I did that on the shooting on the east side. I did that. Oh my God. Let me see what's going on here. Did that. Detroit Archdiocese responds to viral Governor Whitmore video. Oh, they is so upset with Governor Whitmore with that Doritos commercial with that lady. Whitmore is showing feeding a Dorito to Plank, and they said that that's making blasphemy of the Holy Sacrament of Communion. Oh, they going in. Oh, they really mad. Now, this is the statement from the Archbishop. The Michigan Catholic Conference serves as official voice of the Catholic Church in Michigan on matters of public policy, facilitating the church's civil engagement with elected leaders and supporting the work of bishops in seven dioceses. Di- oh, I know I messed that word up of Michigan, but y'all know what I'm saying. It is our responsibility as faithful citizens to participate in political order in light of teachings of Christ and the church, engaging with each other and with our elected officials in a way that expresses our concerns in charity and Christian love. Oh, oh, the letter goes on. The skit, now this is what, in the skit, Whitmore lays a Dorito chip on the extended tongue of the woman, who, as the camera pans out, is shown to be kneeling in the same manner as one would be receiving communion on the tongue. The governor then stares expressionless into the camera. The skit goes further than the viral online trend that inspired it. It's not just distasteful or strange, it's also too familiar example of an elected official mocking religious persons and their practices. While dialogue on this issue with the governor's office is appreciated, whether or not insulting Catholics and the Eucharist was the intent, it has had an offensive impact. People of the state and across the country have grown tired of the continue to express their alarm at the bare civility and respect toward people of faith lowering by the day. Michigan is a religious, diverse state, including thriving communities of Christians, Jewish, and Muslim believers. The time is now for those in public office, their handlers, and strategists to return a level of respect, civility, and appreciation for those who have found peace and fulfillment in the life by worshiping God and serving their neighbor. So I didn't know Governor Wood, she released a statement. And she says, over 25 years in public service, I would never do anything to denigrate someone's faith. I use my platform to stand up for people's right to hold and practice their religious beliefs. My team has spoken to the Michigan Catholic Conference, what was supposed to be a video about the importance of the CHIPS Act to Michigan jobs has been construed into something it's never intended to be, and I apologize for that. Well, she did apologize. Donald Trump announces he's expecting a Lebanese American grandchild. Former President Donald Trump on Thursday, where the whole country ended up like Detroit, that which really, you know, was offensive to many. I could care less, but I understand. Oh, so his daughter Tiffany is pregnant. Oh, I didn't know her husband was Lebanese. So they are. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. I didn't know her husband's Lebanese. Trump's proud dad announced that he has an 11 grandchild on the way, highlighted for those who know a family connection that the presidential candidate hopes would translate into votes for Arab Americans in Michigan. I don't know if it'll do that. So Stephen King gave a speech in Michigan about Donald Trump, and he also posted on X October 10th, and he said that this man has entirely lost the plot. Don't vote for Trump, King said in his post, which gathered 230,000 views. All righty. Maggie Haberman explains why Trump slammed Detroit while there. The New York Times' Maggie Haberman on Thursday explained why Trump made the comment about Detroit. The whole country is going to be like, you want to know the truth? It'll be like Detroit. The whole country will be like Detroit. So Anderson Cooper asked Haberman, who reported on Trump for years, what he meant. He replied, I think he was appealing to the people in that room who were a group of largely white businessmen. As I understand it, you could hear there was applause when he said the line. But Haberman announced this is going to appear in local news outside that room and insulting the city you are in, especially one with a large number of black voters. It's not usually a prescription that gets made for candidates. We'll see if it matters to him. He's been saying things like this for a very long time about various communities that he goes into. It hasn't always mattered, but it can have a cumulative effect, especially in races that are tight. It's certainly not something that I think his advisors would have liked him to say. I think calling it a developing nation was something that you will see again used by his opponents. People did get upset about that. Yes, they did. Oh yeah, and about the men that they caught the men who unalived that 72-year-old man posing as DTE workers. That was tragic, but they caught them. I want to know if they illegal immigrants. That's what I want to know. I really want to know if they illegal, if they were Hispanic. I just want to know. That transitional gang is still here, breaking into luxury homes in Oakland County. So, and that's that Trinidad LaGuardia gang, the Venezuela. Well, some of these people from Chile and everything, but they Hispanic gang, they still here. Macomb Mall was closed for police investigation due to a bomb threat last week. I think I'm up to date. Yeah, with everything. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I'm gonna do one more video. Have a good night.